And I guess if you're from Indiana as well.
Comfortable. It's comfortable.
Yeah. So, okay. So now tell me about your, is it your mentor? He's your mentor. He's your guru. He's your sensei. What do you call him? And we're going to bring him on. And what is his
Yeah.
title?
So the term Geshe is kind of like a doctor of divinity.
Mhm.
Now, the monks in the Gelugpa, the Dalai Lama's tradition, there are three major monasteries. There's Drepung, Sera, and Ganden. Each one of them has their own, has two colleges. So Drepung, for example, has Drepung Gomang and Drepung Losaling. The first degree that they get after 16 years minimum study of
16
these
years.
teachings,
Wow.
yeah, they get the degree called Geshe, and then that's from their intercollegiate debates. Then there's two other degrees above that one, from the intermonastic debates, and then once a year at the Great Prayer Festival, only two candidates are chosen for the Larampa Geshe degree, highest degree you can get. And my teacher, Geshe Jinpa Sonam, has that degree, so it's very
Wow.
high. Now, Geshe-la is so, like, if you remember Karate Kid, I like to think of my story as a blend of a gay Eat, Pray, Love mixed with Karate Kid in the Tibetan world, and then
Yeah.
you've got my life.
I like it.
So you say Danyo-san. The san part is an honorific, and so in Tibetan it's la.
Okay.
So he's Geshe Jinpa Sonam, and when you refer to him, you call him Geshe-la. So we'll bring him over, Geshe-la.
Oh, that's nice. Let's bring him in. Yes.
La.
Here he
Geshe-la.
comes. All right.
So I've
So,
known him for over 20 years now. I'm his senior student, and that doesn't mean by age. It means when you take your vows. But this is Geshe Jinpa Sonam.
welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to Lunch Therapy.
Thank you.
Very nice to see you. I want to
Thank
ask
you.
you a few basic questions
Okay.
because we don't know very much about Buddhism, so this is sort of an introduction to Buddhism for us. I
Okay.
understand
My
you're very
English
learned.
is so good.
What
Maybe I make you more confused.
Yeah, maybe you
He said
will.
he said his
Maybe
English
you
isn't
will.
very good.
Really great. Perfect. Lots
Yeah,
broken.
I love it. I love it because we're getting the accurate Buddhism from the source. How did you end up in Indiana? How did you get to Indiana?
Actually, I graduate 1999.
Uh-huh.
Also, Dalai Lama brother live in Bloomington.
Mm-hmm.
He contact my monastery.
Wow.
That 1999 Dalai Lama also
Dalai
Kalachakra there.
Lama's brother was
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Bloomington, Indiana,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they invited you to come here. The Dalai Lama wanted
Yeah,
you to
yeah,
go
yeah,
there.
yeah. That way.
Wow.
So
Wow.
the Dalai Lama's brother actually was offered some property in Bloomington from a professor that he met in India. And
Mhm.
so he actually lived and taught in Bloomington for over 40 years, had a wife, children, and was a professor on the faculty at Indiana University.
Wow. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a very basic question. How can I
Yeah,
be
okay.
happier? How can I be happier?
Actually, a happy main cause is we need our watch our mind negative emotion.
Yeah.
Emotion have a two types of emotion, one negative, one positive. Many people I face new face see I say that way. You no need change the become a Buddhism.
I don't need
We
to
human
become
being
a Buddhist. I don't need to
no
become
need
a
no
Buddhist.
need that.
Okay.
We Buddhists no need wall. Buddhists no need political system. Then political system have voting person. Then need
Yeah. So,
good person need usually good person.
yeah, good person.
Buddhism meaning really how to change negative is positively.
Okay. So you mean I have negative thoughts and I become
Hey,
aware of
what?
them and I start to change them to positive?
Yeah. That also decreases negative emotion. Beginning we need negative emotion recognize.
Okay.
Then watch what they bring. result is hatred, anger, and jealousy, competition. These kind of result get suffering.
I
They
see.
never get happy.
Competition begets suffering.
Yeah. Competition through lots of people also a problem creator.
How can we exist in this American society where competition seems to be a part of our life and still be happy?
That too, but reality is competition doesn't get your happiness.
Right. We say
Well,
comparison is
I
the
like to
killer
tell
of
my-
joy. Comparison is the
I
killer
like
of
to
joy.
tell my marching band students that there's a difference between wanting to win and needing to win. One is healthy and one isn't. And so, even in the monasteries, the monks are competitive, but they don't do it with this outcome that they have to have. Enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the
You know,
competition, but not try and be like better than everybody
Yeah,
else. Or,
deeply the negative thought through.
Is
Then
there-
also need that part of our mind, negative emotion, also positive emotion. Why? Negative emotion total our
Fault.
mind
Fault.
fall.
does
Positive emotion,
Yeah.
negative emotion total our mind fall.
It's a fault of the mind.
does our emotion follow our thoughts, or the other way
Negative
around?
emotion. Yeah.
Okay. So if we're having
Also
negative
bad
thoughts,
thought.
we're going to have
Immediately.
negative emotions.
Yeah.
essentially.
Also bad thought also fall. Then compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, thinking another charging mind. These things really mind quality. Then you beginning kind of we have this kind of imprint that way we difficult. You doing familiarly, then more getting this compassion through. Then totally Buddhist say compassion mind is non-violent.
Compassionate mind is non-violent.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that 100%.
Now, I want to add to what he's saying. Joe Dispenza, in his book Evolve Your Brain, talks about what an emotion actually is, and it's a chemical. That's it. So I guess for one thing that I would say to Mark to add to what I said earlier is every emotion you have is merely a chemical. And it's part of the fight or flight mechanism in the brain. When we overestimate how much threat that guy is bringing me, the amygdala sends this flood of emotions, these chemicals, to protect me. But we can stop that. But in our society, our culture, we don't have a practice to try to stop the emotion. So my favorite question Joe asks in his book is, are you thinking your thoughts or your thoughts thinking you?
Mm.
And then he asks this perfect question that changed my life. He made this statement. If you cannot stop an emotion from happening while it's happening, you're addicted to the chemical.
Do you
And we
think
can change our emotions.
can we break the pattern of negative thoughts through meditation?
Yeah. Also, we need beginning negative emotion recognize. People not much heated, anger, jealousy, these things, not much thinking negative,
We don't even realize
That's
we're
it.
doing it.
Yeah, doing that way.
We're so
This
used to
not
living
good.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, we need this kind of recognize.
We need to
Then
recognize
what
it.
bring the result that total suffering.
Do
Then
we? No, go ahead.
compassion mind,
Mhm.
loving kindness,
Loving kindness.
these kind of emotion also positive. Also giving happiness result is you analyze 1 month 2 month analyze, then something I say wrong, then you call me again.